Hey, brothers and sisters, what's up? This is the Reluctant Nabi back again. And this is a serious message. So, brothers, if you care about your voice, if you care about you, you will share this video. If you care about you, if you care about your voice. All right. Because as you know, I speak for us. All right. I speak for the sisters indirectly, but I speak directly for us and to us. And so what's happening is YouTube is trying to silence the voices of brothers that speak for the righteous men by allowing black women and their minions to tear down our channels. All right. But wait a minute, it gets worse than that. We can now directly accuse YouTube based on their policies and based on their actions of racism against black men or Afro men. But the main protected group that the 1964 Civil Rights was written to protect has been taken away thanks to in no part by the simps, the black females, and their minions, and any black person that you look at in political office or these black organized groups. None of them stood for us. And I'm going to tell you how I know that. I know that because of this report right here, done by the BBC. That's the British Broadcasting News, right? The BBC ran a report saying YouTube restores far-right channels after appeals. Okay, now I added this, but they continue the ban on black men. All right, YouTube continues to block and silence the voices of black men, the Afro men on YouTube that speaks of righteousness and that speaks to what's really going on in the community. In other words, we're not lying to people like the news media is. And we're telling people what's going on based on our experiences from living in said community. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start sharing these videos and see if I could put them on Slaying Evil's post so that we can get a movement too to stop this, because this can now be seen as pure racism against Afro men. And they're going to say the community, but my community does not consist of people that are taking down my video. As a matter of fact, the people that are trying to take down my video are the ones that's doing me and other men harm in our community. They are harming our ability to make money. They are harming our children. Statistically, they are causing mortal harm to our children, and we are not allowed to stand up and at least verbally defend the right for our children to have a good home, a good place to live, and somebody that will not neglect and destroy them like the black female is doing statistically. Period. All right? Let me greet everybody real quick so you know it's really me. Havorn hardu gudag ola oi to the bang basas los bonjour mes amis kedo bawani konnichiwa. Ni hao ni ama sani bonani jumbo habarigani assalamu alaikum and shalom. All right, y'all. This channel has done a lot of good, and the black women and YouTube is trying to hamper that. All right. We've known for a long time because we live around them and we know by our personal experiences. But YouTube is saying right now that Afro men cannot speak on YouTube about their personal experiences and what exactly is going on in the so-called Afro community, even though it's backed up by stats from the CDC. All right, backed up by stats from the U.S. Census. Backed up by stats from blackgenocide.org and all other groups and people that did scientific studies on what's going on in our community. Period. All right, this is so egregious. So let me show you exactly what happened? YouTube restored them, and look at what the leader of YouTube had to say about restoring Caucasian men that are alt-right, but why do they still got their foot on the throats of Afro men and the so-called black men that are speaking of righteousness? And all we are saying is we need to separate, get passports and separate. And they are calling that hate speech. YouTube is calling, this is what YouTube is calling hate speech. Afro men that are pointing out statistically what the government said is going on in our community, and our solution is for the good brothers and sisters to separate from the ones that are causing wickedness and getting passport. They are calling that hate speech. All right, so this video is going to be linked to YouTube also, because I have to see what they're going to say about this. All right, so we can now officially accuse YouTube of overt racism against Afro men, because if they can restore them, how can they still consider men that are talking about their community, that live in the community, and talking about what's going on literally in the community in which they live, hate speech? All right, y'all know what to do. If you want to donate to still try to help this channel do what we do for the children, because they're trying to ban that. See, the BAWs, the black women, are trying to stop men that are actually trying to do good in the community and get brothers to think soundly about their decisions. And they're using the platform of YouTube and YouTube's bias and racism against Afro people to help in this endeavor. All right, and we're calling it what it is, period, because this is what's going on. Okay, Mr. Sellner, right? This man is banned from entering the UK, with the authorities saying that his presence would not be conducive to the public good. All right, so both him and another alt-right man who has a channel up, we'll get to him in a minute, but Mr. Sellner is banned from the UK, and YouTube allows him to speak and have his channel unrestricted, but they're banning my channel, they're banning my ability to speak. And guess what? I'm not banned for anybody, anywhere, because I actually physically help my community, and I am telling the truth. I am telling the same truth that the government organizations who are doing the studies and finding out that black women are the primary cause of the wickedness in our community by way of their choices and by way of their actions. Period. Right? All right. So she goes on this. They go in and say both men, the BBC, protested about the closure of their YouTube channels on social media. They share information sent to them from YouTube, which said they repeatedly broken its guidelines. So now that they instated them, we can now understand that the guidelines, remember, we as Afro men are the minorities that the 1964 Civil Rights Act was supposed to protect. And now all those rights are squandered away from us by the very people, the Caucasian people running YouTube. Let's be clear, because none of us are represented in YouTube. Not at that level, not at the level of the decision makers that decide what gets to stay up or taken down from YouTube's platform. And this is egregious, because arguably there is no other platform that have the width and spread of YouTube whereby somebody can be heard. And YouTube knows this, so they pick and choose who gets to stay on YouTube, and they allow a few black females to come on my channel, and they're sorry simps to try to destroy and take down the channel, saying that the community, but they're not my community. If you look at my thumbs up and thumbs down, I barely get 2. So you get 2 or 3 people that come to my channel that flag down videos. Remember, it only takes a minority of evil to destroy. You don't need as many people to destroy as you need to build. Keep that in mind. Okay, on Thursday, so this is an old report, YouTube reversed its decision to reinstate 2 channels. Several other far-right channels that YouTube banned this week remain unavailable. An expansion for the change of heart came on Friday. For Shadlu, YouTube's global product policy communications head, said that after thorough review, it had decided that the channels had not broken any rules. After a lot of pressure by Caucasian people, and that's the difference. Afro men has to depend on YouTube to do right by us, the minority that was supposed to be protected, and now it looks like that the only people that's supposed to be protected is the feelings of the majority. That means Caucasians and women, who are the majority. And black women have the right to tear down any channel that calls out the destruction that they are doing on the community. And I'm saying statistically this is true. I am not saying this is my imagination. We are saying this is statistically what they're doing, and this is what we actually see in our neighborhoods. What we're seeing in our neighborhoods is bearing out that the statistics is true. They're going to say, we realize that many may find the viewpoints expressed in these channels deeply offensive, he said. Mr. Shadlu added that YouTube had recently updated the way it handles hateful content. All right. This had led to removing thousands of accounts and tens of thousands of videos. All right. But see, they're not dealing with hateful content. They're dealing with other viewpoint that the majority don't like. Hateful content, I don't recall many people on YouTube wanting people to go out and destroy another people. As a matter of fact, if you look at the Afro men, we're talking about leaving the wicked people around that's trying to destroy us and going to better pastures in order to preserve the love that we have for people, and mainly our children, and mainly our seeds. So loving ourselves is called now hate speech, according to YouTube. All right. When Afro men, the minorities that were supposed to be protected by the 1964 Civil Rights Act, decide that they're going to have love in themselves, start following the commandments. Oh, that means we have the right to our religious opinions, and start calling out, as we're supposed to do according to commandments, those that are doing wickedness and evil to us and others in the community. They are going to call that hate speech now. Mind you, this video is going to YouTube, all right, and it's going to go to Slave Girl, and it's going to go to many other brothers, and I'm going to send it there, even if I have to send it as a full video, because this is egregious right here. All right, so they let the far right in. Now, this is what YouTube's boss said. All right, now, this is going to be in reference to InfoWars, and I don't know who the other guy's channel is. I watch InfoWars some of the time, and I believe he has the right to speak. Oh, yeah, that's right. I believe in true free speech. I don't believe in yelling fire in a crowded theater causing panic, but I do believe in true free speech. None of my videos on YouTube advocated the destruction of anybody. I advocated the judgment of the Most High, and I advocated the men get out of the way so that we won't be destroyed by the black woman. because that's what's happening to us. As you see right now, we can't even make YouTube videos. They're proving me to be correct. YouTube's boss, Susan Wojcicki, all right, that's what I'm gonna call it. Susan Wojcicki wrote in a letter to video makers that YouTube must remain an open platform, except for to black men, maybe. She said the desire to welcome all kinds of views had to be balanced against the responsibility to protect the community. So if we're not calling for anybody to be destroyed in the community, except maybe by the Most High, but if we're not calling for anybody to physically be destroyed, if we're not calling for a war, we might say there's going to be one. We might think there's going to be one, and we might think that we're not going to be around when it happens. Right? But since when is the responsibility of the community to shut down the voices of black men? That's something YouTube is going to have to answer. All right. Now, this is what she wrote. The boss, Susan Wojcicki, right? A commitment to openness is not easy. It sometimes means leaving up content that is outside the mainstream, controversial, or even offensive, she said. Hearing a broad range of perspectives ultimately makes us a stronger and more informed society, she claimed. On Thursday, a previously banned channel called War Room returned to YouTube. War Room is a program produced by right-wing conspiracy theorist Alex Jones of InfoWars Brands. Okay, so he has a channel called the War Room. Okay, InfoWars was removed from YouTube in 2018 for repeatedly breaking the site's rule on harassment and hate speech. But how are you harassing people that make the choice to come to your channel? Period. Is it hate speech if somebody's going to come to my channel unless they're the ones that are filled with hate and looking for a channel to destroy? Understand this, because the channel does not actively advocate for people to seek and destroy other people's finances, income, job, welfare, or life. However, the people that's coming to flag down channels, all right, YouTube need to do something about them, is because they are seeking people that they really hate to flag down their channels. All right, this is basically what's going on. You can't call somebody that is talking about what's going on in their community, and if they're speaking the truth, no, that does not arise to hate speech. They made it so bad that you can't even use the word hate speech, but they can use it to you. All right. In the new video, the War Room quoted Mrs. Wojcicki's letter, suggesting it meant that the InfoWars ban was over, but only the ban on Caucasian men is over. Because as of today, I'm still able to tell you that they are allowing people who don't like us telling the truth about what's going on in our community, the Afro community, all right, they're allowing them to destroy our incomes, channels, and even us with death threats and harm threats and all the rest of that. All right. So the protected are not the protected, and the evil get to destroy anybody that they want. That's YouTube's stance right now. All right, I had 3 videos that were flagged down. All right, this is the truth. Statistically, the majority of black women have multiple babies from multiple baby daddies. The majority of black women are not virgin. We're talking about in the 72 and above %. All right. The second video, I'm saying, yeah, we're giving up. They're not worth fighting for anymore. We should now save ourselves. And then remember South Carolina. What happened up there? Oh, you can't speak to that? That's a true thing that happened up there. That's a risk to the entire community. To keep that silent is a risk to the entire community. And one is an expose on somebody that just didn't like us because she said the grass was greener on the other side, and look at how she ended up. All right, so this is all pointing out people that had a beef with us, how the beef that they had against us went terribly wrong. And not that we had anything to do with it. We just stood on the sidelines and watched. You might even call it prophetic. All right. So this is what Mrs. Wojcicki. This is the leader of InfoWars. Okay. This is Alex Jones with InfoWars in the War Room. Notice the difference between he and I? Yeah, something's wrong with that, YouTube. All right. Anytime somebody struck any of my videos, YouTube has never reinstated any of them, and at no time did I promote any kind of violence or anything towards anybody. And as y'all know, for Afro people that live in the so-called black community, I am telling the truth about what goes on there. And it's being judged by Caucasian people that don't live anywhere near us, or other people in other countries that don't live anywhere near us. And they're not protecting anybody. All right, if you can't protect my ability to make money, and you're causing somebody else to promote their hatred against me, at no point did I shut anybody down. At no point did I try to harm anybody. At no point did I advocate for the same. I said we need to take our own resources, keep them to ourselves, and take them to communities that appreciate us. That's why I decided to take the money that I make and put it into the communities and NGOs in Brazil. But YouTube is against people that give back to the community. That's the only answer for this. They're against people that actually physically work in the community if they're a black male. And if they're using the platform to call attention to what's going on in the community, and using the platform to help galvanize people, to help said community from the destruction that they see people causing in it. All right, YouTube has a problem. And right now it looks like racism. I want to know what YouTube has to say about this to Afro men, to the so-called black men, about us talking about what's going on in our own community. And brothers, I want to know what you're going to do if you're going to share these videos. I mean, what's up? At the end of the day, these so-called queens never meant us any good. And I speak to that reality. And the reality is they go through and shut down only the Afro men's channel. Now, understand this. That's racism. That's racism that YouTube gave a group of people to go through and shut down only Afro men's channel. All right. And I can show and prove that YouTube is allowing racism by the same group of women that went through and shut down black men's channel before and made a list of only black men. I can prove that YouTube is allowing black women to promote racism against Afro men. Remember, I kept the receipts from what happened in 2017. And I am glad to share them with YouTube that they are allowing racism against Afro men. Period. So I will send those clips also to them with these videos. With that said, I'm out. Brother, share this video on Facebook. If there's a group you can put it in a group. All right? Y'all need to share this. A group of brothers, that is. All right, share this video on Facebook. Let them know what's going on against brothers. And for you simps that don't care, y'all are helping. This is what y'all are helping to do. With that said, I'm out.